What's up guys, I just recently got a new delay plugin and I have to say this sounds amazing and it's so cool for sound design. Take a listen. So it's no surprise that this is an Arturia plugin. It's the Delay Brigade and I'm completely in love with it. So in this video, I'm gonna show you what awesome sounds we can create with this delay plugin. Let's go. Okay, so before we begin, I have actually prepared a small electric piano riff that we're gonna use in this video. And it sounds like this. But it needs some delay sweetness. Enter the Delay Brigade from Arturia. So to my understanding, this is, with almost all of the Arturia plugins, an emulation of a hardware guitar pedal. And I just have to say, what I love about Arturia, they go so much into depth with different knobs, settings that you can do, but they also just keep stuff simple as well. So you don't have that many options, but then again, it can still yield some powerful results. So let's just play that piano sound with the Delay Brigade on it in default. Simply amazing right out of the box. So I'm going to show you what we can do and what all of these different settings does to the sound. So if we start with the top, one cool thing is this input level. And because it's emulating analog hardware gear, this is actually trying to push the inputs so you can get a more distorted lo-fi sound. So if we crank this up, we can start to introduce that sweet distortion. I think this could sound pretty cool on some drums. I think I'm going to try to play around with that in maybe a future video. So if we move on to the next knobs, we have, of course, the timing of the delays. So we have a slider down here where you can choose to have it synced or unsynced. I like to have it synced. Then you have this small button in the middle, which basically links the two knobs, the left and the right delay. So if I turn it up, you can see the different time signatures that we have here. It just follows, the other one follows the first one. But I like to keep it a little bit interesting. So I want to have the left delay playing one time signature and the right delay to play another one. So a 1/8 and a 1/8 dotted. Then you have the feedback here. So we can turn this down and make these long reverb tails. So you can go pretty much mental with this. Then we can go over here to the next one, which is basically the echo level. So this is the level of the delays. So if we play it, no sound. Just crank it up. And I think I'm just going to keep it at maximum because that just sounds great to me. And then we have these different delay modes. Obviously, I like the ping pong mode. You have a left-right mode and you have a mid-side mode. So if you change it, you can see over here, this is changing. So left delay, and then you have the mid-side over here. But I just like to use the ping pong mode for this. Down here you have the blend mode, which is basically just a dry, wet knob. So we can play it. No delay. Full on delay madness. We can put it to maybe at around here. Super sick. Then we have more modulation stuff down here, which is pretty cool. So we have a chorus vibrato effect. So it's set to chorus right now. Then we can crank it up to give it a chorus effect. We can also put it to a vibrato effect. So get these pitch fluctuating sounds make it like a little bit wobbly. Great for lo-fi stuff. Then we can play around with the stereo width, so we can have it either be really narrow or really wide. So if we play it, put it up, get really wide stuff, and we can narrow it down to get a more mono signal. So when I do like sound design, because I love to add reverb, multiple delays, phasers, and all that stuff, I tend to have a lot of stereo information in my sounds. So a good tip could be to just decrease the stereo width a little bit for some of the plugins, if this is an option that you have available, just to make sure that you're not going too wide. Because if you were to have your music or your sounds play on like a mono system, some of the information can go lost. This is a great tool to just check if stuff is not getting too wide. Then you can put like stereo offset, and that's like small variations between the left and right. Also a small great way to just add a little bit of variation to the delays. And then down here, there is this slider here. And I just read the manual, and I believe that this is the standard function on the old hardware version, the deluxe version. And this basically makes this like bucket bridge delay, the size, the length of these delays. This is the short version, and this is the long version. I'm not quite sure what this means, but it just changes the way that the delays are behaving. We get a little bit of longer ones here. Turn down the input level down a little bit. And then of course you have the on-off, like bypass it. And this is of course Arturia being faithful to the original hardware. So it's like this cool guitar pedal and button that you can press. I think this is pretty cool. Cool stuff. Okay, if you enjoyed the video so far, why not consider subscribing to my channel? I have a lot of other sound design tutorials on my channel. It's just down there. Press that button down there. You won't regret it. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to some of these other cool things that you can do in Arturia plugins. Is that I think almost all of the plugins from Arturia comes with an advanced function where you can actually dive a little bit deeper into sculpting your sounds. So we have a bunch of cool stuff down here. We have an input equalizer, which basically makes us shape the input sound into the delay. So we can actually cut away, if we want to, like some of the low end. We can also cut away some of the highs. I like to do this for more lo-fi stuff. We can make this really cool like peak frequency. So we can find like a specific frequency band area where we want to boost the EQ. So I want to maybe do like this. And then we can make this a little bit of a wider like Q. This is the resonance. So if you have like a bell shape curve here, you can have like really narrow one, or you can have like a more wide one. I hope that makes sense. If I boost this really much, you can hear that mid-tone, mid-range is being boosted. You can also do it like with the low end here. A little bit too much, but yeah, you can do it. So I want to have it around here. Cool. Like this is adding a lot of grit to these electric pianos, and I really love it. Then we have this envelope follower. So this is basically listening to the input signal, and we can actually use this to modulate some of the knobs and settings inside the plugin. So I can set up the sensitivity a little bit. I want this to behave really fast and also like release, go back to normal again really fast. So for the distillation, I actually want to modulate the amount of the vibrato effect. I put this amount to positive. So every time like the notes are hitting, I get a little bit more amount of the vibrato effect. So you can see down here the green dials here indicates that we are getting signal input. It's just a small subtle effect, but you can, again, choose a lot of different destinations. You can also play around with like the delay time to create some wobbly kind of tape echo effects. But we just keep this as is for this video. Then we have an LFO. I actually want to modulate the peak gain. So the EQ peak gain, this knob here, I want to modulate that. I don't want to have it synced because I just want this to be like a sweeping waveform that's not synced. So I get a little bit more like of an unpredictable result. Put it to a sine wave shape and let's just listen. So this is a little bit too much. I'm gonna turn this down. It's like so gritty and rough. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, the LFO is also just opening up the modulation possibilities inside the plugin. So this is actually it for like this video. I hope that showed you what you can do with the Brigade plugin from Arturia. Let's just listen to what we have created. Then I'm gonna press this awesome guitar button so you can hear it like bypassed and on, so you can hear what it's doing. So yeah, enjoy. Super cool vibes. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, it would mean so much to me if you would smash that like button or even subscribe to the channel. I'm just such a big fan of Arturia stuff. I'm not sponsored by them, but I really want to. So Arturia, reach out to me if you want me to do something cool. But I just love their plugins. They're easy to use. They invite you to twist the knobs and sliders, and you can create so many awesome results with the plugins and instruments that they have. Okay, if you want to support the channel even further, you can go and check out some of my sample packs and preset packs on my web shop. The link is in the description down below. And I also have a Discord server for producers. It's just a place where we share our tracks, we get feedback, provide feedback, talk about music and all that stuff. It's generally just a cool place to hang out and support each other. And you can join that if you want to. The link is also in the description down below. So I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.